So they're asking us to find the values of b and c satisfying this equation. So f of x plus 1 is just b times of x plus 1 the whole square plus c times of x plus 1 plus d, and minus f of x means as it is bx square plus cx plus d equal to 8x plus 3. We could see that the d is directly get cancelled, and you have this b and c. If you simplify this, this is bx square plus 2x plus 1 plus cx plus c minus bx square minus cx equal to 8x plus 3. And if you see this bx square and bx square get cancelled, you remain with 2b plus cx, and cx also get cancelled. And 2b, you don't have anything to take common. Directly to 2bx plus c equal to 8x plus 3. So the b equal to 4 and c equal to 3.
So what did we do in the first step? I didn't understand.
So isn't it supposed to be 2bx plus b plus c?
2bx plus, oh, b plus c. Okay, okay. We made a mistake in the calculation, I think. We forgot the b plus c. The b plus c. So the b plus c is equal to 3. B plus c equal to 3. B is 4. So c should be equal to minus 1. We have an option like that. Yeah. B is equal to 4.
How is b equal to 4? Could you tell again?
You equate the x coefficients, no? X coefficient.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, sir.
This is equal to this.
So could you repeat from the first step? I didn't understand.
First step is f of x plus 1. See, f of x is this. When they're given f of x is equal to bx square plus cx plus d, and then f of t is bt square plus ct plus d, and f of something is b something square plus c something plus d.
Okay.
Yeah, f of x plus 1 is bx plus 1 the whole square plus cx plus 1 plus d. Yeah. So they are only given that this is even function. Automatically f of minus x equal to f of x. A power minus x minus 1 by minus x plus power n a power minus x plus 1 equal to a power x minus 1 by x power n into a power x plus 1. That's what the meaning of it. So we write a power minus x as 1 by a. We did a similar problem just now. We try to get the similar terms on both sides. This is minus 1 power n x power n and 1 by a power x plus 1 equal to the as it is a power x minus 1 by x power n a power x plus 1. So the x power n can be cancelled on both sides. Then this 1 minus a power x by a power x by the minus 1 power n into 1 plus a power x by a power x equal to a power x minus 1 by a power x plus 1. A power x get cancelled, and on both sides of the equations the denominators get cancelled. And okay, everything if you cancel here itself will be confused. That's why I'll write one more step. Minus 1 power n equal to a power x minus 1. So now if you cancel this, you get a minus 1 here. This one time, this minus 1 time. So basically the minus 1 power n equal to minus 1. And they're asking the n is equal to. So n can be equal to many even number, odd numbers. So n is equal to, so out of, there are many values possible for n equal to 1 is also fine, but out of the options which is possible, that's what they're asking. If you substitute n is equal to 2, it is not going to satisfy. 2 by 3 also it's not going to satisfy. How means minus 1 power 2 by 3 is can be written as minus 1 power 2 whole power 1 by 3. This becomes 1 power 1 by 3 becomes 1. So this is also not going to satisfy. And what is this power 1 by 4? So the power 1 by 4 is not a real number only. See, the fourth root of minus 1 is not a real number. So this is not allowed. 1 by 3, power 1 by 3, cube root of minus 1 is minus 1. So this is the answer. You see this, we reach this minus 1 power n, the whole power minus 1. 2 definitely won't
Yes,
satisfy
sir.
because minus 1 square is not minus 1. And 2 by 3, minus 1 whole power 2 by 3, when you write, this can be written as minus 1 the whole square, whole power 1 by 3. Minus 1 the whole square is 1. 1 power 1 by 3 is 1. So 2 by 3 is also not satisfying. And then if you go for 1 by 4, minus 1 power 1 by 4 is the root of root minus 1. Root minus 1 is not a real number. So it is not real number only where it will be equal to minus 1. So this is also not satisfying. So this should be the answer, but still we can verify whether it satisfies or not. Cube root of minus 1 is minus 1 itself, because minus 1 the whole cube equal to minus 1. If you take the cube root on both sides, minus 1 whole power 1 by 3, I mean to say. Get this. So that's why 1 by 3 is the answer. So the same process of verification, you check, you calculate f of minus x. If you get the same thing, even. Negative, odd. Neither, neither. So f of minus x is minus x, a power minus x minus 1 by a power minus x plus 1. So the minus x into a power 1 by a power x minus 1 by a power x plus 1. Minus x into 1 minus a power x by a power x by 1 plus a power x by a power x. A power x get cancelled. This minus, if you multiply inside, x into a power x minus 1 by a power x plus 1, which is f of x again. So it's even function. So if you write this minus x and this one, after cancelling a power x and a power x, you get 1 minus a power x by 1 plus a power x.
Yes, sir.
So you multiply this minus with this expression, then you get this.
Oh, okay, there I made a mistake.
Yeah. So if you see this, domain of f of x is minus 5 to 7 means the inputs allowed for f in minus 5 to 7. Only from minus 5 to 7 the inputs for f are allowed. But this is not just the f function. This is f of mod function. The two functions involved in it. One is mod and then one is f. First mod applied, then f applied. So the domain of this function is the possible values of x. Possible values of x such that this f is defined. That means for the inputs of f, the inputs of f should be in this interval. So as inputs allowed for f between minus 5 to 7, the mod 2x plus 5 is the input for that. So mod 2x plus 5 must be belongs to minus 5 to 7. That means minus 5 should be less than or equal to mod 2x plus 5 less than or equal to 7. See, the mod value can never be negative. Even though they are allowing it to be negative, you can never get the negative. So the only possibility for this modulus to get is between 0 to 7. Only this is possible. They are allowing, f is allowing. But because we are writing the modulus, we will never get this as a negative value between minus 5 to 0. So only possibilities are 0 to 7. So you can take x values such that mod 2x plus 5 is between 0 to 7. We know how to simplify this. Minus 7 is less than or equal to 2x plus 5 is less than or equal to 7. We know this inequality mod x is less than a implies minus a is less than x less than a, well known property for us from linear inequalities. Now if you subtract, so this is only directly 2x plus 5 you can write, you can remove the modulus. Subtract the 5 throughout, minus 7 minus 5 is less than 2x is less than or equal to 7 minus 5. And then this minus 12 is less than or equal to 2x is less than or equal to the 2. Divide with 2, so minus 6 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 1. So the x belongs to closed interval minus 6 to 1. We have an option like that. That is first option. See, the question asked is f of x is root minus x square and the domain of this. So the domain condition is inside the root expression should be greater than or equal to 0. So minus x square should be greater than or equal to 0. If you multiply this with minus x square should be less than or equal to 0. So x square can never be negative. X square should be negative or 0. That's what the condition. Because it cannot be negative, it should be 0. That means x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 is the only value allowed for this. That means the domain is singleton set 0. That is option 3. Suppose if I give root of minus x. So you can't say that simply minus is not allowed because the minus x is there. The domain is only 0. You can't say in this case. But this case, yeah, x can be negative. In this case, x can be negative. Why? Here, x square negative chance is not there. So x square is always a positive. A positive number with negative sign is negative number. Here, a variable with negative sign, the variable is allowed to be negative. See here the domain is, if suppose this is the question, minus x should be greater than or equal to 0. So x should be less than or equal to 0. So the x belongs to minus infinity to 0 closed will be the answer. In case if minus x is given. Because x can be negative also, so that minus x can be positive. But here x square can never be negative. That's why minus x positive possibility is not there. So only possibility is the minus x square should be 0. Right? So to find the domain of this, we have two conditions. The first condition is the denominator not equal to 0. The second condition is 2 minus x into x under root expression should be greater than or equal to 0. So to solve this condition, if you remember, we had one full class in one of the Saturdays about this modulus inequalities. If you see the mod x is greater than 5, mod x is greater than or equal to 8.
Sir, is that modulus or the greatest integer?
Sorry. Greatest integer, not the modulus. Greatest integer. Greatest integer less than some 10. The greatest integer function is less than or equal to 12. See, when you need to solve this, what I suggested that time is, because the integral part of x is an integer, convert this condition into integer first. First write where mod x belongs to. Mod x, sorry, my bad. The greatest integer function should be greater than 5. Means what are the integers allowed for greatest integer? You tell me. Can anyone tell me? What are the integers allowed for integral part of x? What are the integers more than 5? Huh?
From 6 onwards.
Very good. 6 onwards. 6, 7, 8 and so on. I just suggested you to write this step, one step. Next for this, integral part of x belongs to, can anyone tell me?
8 on.
Very good. 8, 9, 10 and so on. So don't create a formula like this and all. Like generally you think mod x, integral part of x greater than 5. So 6 onwards allowed. Greater than or equal to 8, 8 onwards allowed. Next. Here integral part of x belongs to and so on 7, 8, 9.
8, 9.
Yeah. So here integral part of x belongs to and so on 10, 11, 12. Now for the integral part of x to be belongs to this interval, x belongs to what? Whenever we have starting point, start with that point with closed interval. Whenever we have integers starting with one number, then start with the same number. So don't look at the original condition. If you look at this, you will be confused whether I need to write 5 or the next number. So if you try to get the directly answer from here to here, you'll be confused. Convert that into integers, and once you converted that into integers, from there directly you write. So if it is starting from an integer, closed interval that integer. So here x belongs to starting from an integer, closed interval, that integer. That's it, done. Next. Here if you are ending with one integer, don't end with that integer, end with the next integer. Minus infinity to the next integer. So don't look at this. Don't get from this. Get only from this. The next integer to 9 is 10. And don't keep the closed bracket and open bracket. And here also x belongs to, whenever it is ending, so don't end with that integer, next integer. Next integer to 12 is 13. So minus infinity 13. And moreover, when it is ending, don't end with that number, open interval with that number. Right? So if you directly look at these, sometimes you write the same number, sometimes you write the next number. So you'll be confused. So this middle step is the key. Right? Now, integral part of x is not equal to 0. I want you to convert this into integral part of x belongs to. And so on. Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. Because after that 0 is missing. So end here. Union 1, 2, 3, and so on. Because one number is, there is no continuity, that's why I'm writing as two intervals. You could write in one single set. But I want you to write that as wherever the continuity is there, the continuity you write as in the set. So continuity is missing, write as a different set. All of you agree with this? Writing the integral part of x not equal to 0 is integral part of x belongs to all negative numbers, union all positive numbers. You may ask, sir, why you are writing in two different sets? You can write in the same set. Yes, you can write. But whenever you are missing a number, let us have a new set and then write the numbers in that. Now, if you convert this into intervals, x belongs to, whenever it is ending with a number, don't end with that number. End with the next number. Next number to minus 1 is 0. And don't keep the closed bracket, open bracket. Union. Whenever you are beginning with the number, start with the same number. And put a closed bracket for that. That's the answer. Suppose answer is written in r minus 0 form, then you can see later. So this part is done. Now coming to this part, a well-known method for us, the Wavy-Curve method. The zeros are 0 and the 2. X square coefficient is negative. You start with minus sign, rightmost, plus, minus. You want the product to be positive. And equal to is there. The zeros also should be included. So x belongs to closed 0 to 2. Now the intersection of these two, both conditions should be satisfied. Closed 0 to 2 and this. The common part is closed 1 to closed 2, the final answer. And we have an interval option like that. If you look at the options, if the closed 1 to 2, yes, we have an option, that is option 3. We need with this kind of problems, we use the y method. Y equal to, of course, the 2 is not equal to x, even though they are not given. The domain condition itself says that 2 is not equal to x. And then y equal to 2 plus x by 2 minus x. We write the x as a subject. 2y minus yx equal to 2 plus x. So isolate x, that means write all the x terms one side. 2y minus 2 equal to yx plus x. So take x common, y plus 1 equal to the 2 times of y minus 1. So x is equal to 2 times of y minus 1 by y plus 1. So the x to be real number, the denominator of the x value cannot be 0. So y minus y plus 1 is not equal to 0. Y not equal to minus 1. So the range is r minus the minus 1. Again the same y method, y equal to x by 1 plus x square. Y plus yx square equal to x. Yx square minus x plus y equal to 0. For x belongs to real numbers. So d should be greater than or equal to 0. So minus 1 the whole square minus 4 into y should be greater than or equal to 0. So 1 minus 2y into 1 plus 2y should be greater than or equal to 0. Webico method. Minus 1 by 2 and 1 by 2 are the zeros. Y square quotient is negative, minus plus minus. You want the product to be positive. Y belongs to minus half to half. So the range is, that's first option. The formula method also, if you do, when you're getting this formula, this condition remains the same. Whatever condition you got with this, the same condition. The additional condition that you're getting is y equal to 0. What happens if y equal to 0 for the original equation? This one. Y equal to 0, what happens? 0 x square minus x plus 0 equal to 0. So then minus x equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 is a proper real number, no? So with y equal to 0 also, we are not getting any problem for this. We are not getting any problem for this. So no worries.
So like we